Peace, peace.
Hey,
What's up, y'all? It's Arim.
and EOD.
And you're tuned in to deuxsol Radio.
That's right, your favorite twins are back talking all things music and culture.
Because two takes are better than one, but twin takes
Are even better.
And we're back with another episode.
Mm-hmm.
And this episode is super special because we have a very special guest.
Yes, we
a
sure
vet
do.
in the world of music. You know her as the lead vocalist of the Grammy-nominated band Little Dragon.
And she's now here after the release of her incredible solo debut album, For You, and she's kicking off her North American tour here in New York City. Please give it up for Yukimi.
Yay!
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We are so excited to have you here. I know that it's a very busy week. I know you just got to the States and you're gearing up for your tour. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling definitely a bit nervous. I have some butterflies, but I'm really excited. Yeah, I've been longing for this to start because there's been, just so many different elements and practical little bits that have had to come together for this to happen. So to be here now is like a really special feeling.
Wow.
Do you feel like it's different from your tour last year at all?
Well, this is a longer, more extensive tour.
Right.
And yeah, I feel like the album is out now. And the
Right.
album wasn't out when I did the shows in December. So I feel like there's been a little bit of time for people to get acquainted to the music. And yeah, that's going to feel different, I think, to be able to play the music once now that the album is out.
We're super excited to dive deeper into For You. But before we do that, we have to know, how did we get here? Because you've been making music for years with Little Dragon. You've been out here for so long, and now you've just come out with a solo album. How did we get to what is For You?
Well, I guess I never really had any kind of plan of making a solo album. In my mind, I felt like, we were going to be a band forever and ever and ever. And, I just I didn't see any end to it. So I think, it sort of caught me off guard when, I sort of started playing with the thought, and there was something in the air between all of us in the band where there was a really strong need to express ourselves without any kind of compromises, and just to follow that sort of path of creativity without having to consider, everyone's baggage of influences, and just like go full on our own. So it was just something in the air, and it was a very unanimous feeling. And, we're all very supportive of each other. Fred, who plays bass in Little Dragon, he has his own solo project called Funny Weather. Eric produced my album and is producing all kinds of different artists. Håkan is working on some kind of a secret instrumental album. I think he has like a studio in a camper van. I mean, everyone's doing their thing and enjoying life. And, I guess that when that moment sort of fell into place, I just followed that intuitive feeling and followed that gut feeling and started writing songs for myself. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that is beautiful to hear. And what we got a sense of with the project is that it feels really personal, and that you've been really open about following your intuition and your spiritual journey as well, from what we hear in the music. So it's interesting that that's what kind of guided you to this moment.
And then also just the fact that everyone was in line with just taking a beat, I would say, right? It just feels like everyone needs to just follow their own individual paths. But the love is still there, obviously.
Yeah,
100%.
the camaraderie is there, the collaboration is there, which is beautiful.
yes. Oh, we're family.
I love that. I
Right.
love that.
And Eric was playing drums at your last concert.
Yes, and
Yes.
he's going to be playing drums on this tour too.
Yes.
So,
Amazing.
yeah.
I love that.
Love the continuous support.
Yes.
Dope.
He has
Yeah.
my back.
Love it. Let's talk about your lead single, Break Me Down.
Mhm.
Arim and I have had that song on repeat.
Oof,
We are obsessed with it. We love the sonic journey you take us on through your vocal range. We hear your lower register, we hear your upper register, and then the lyrics almost feel like an affirmation. So we'd love to know just a little bit more about the backstory behind this song and why you chose this to be your first single.
Well, I feel like it's one of the sort of more upbeat tracks on my album. So it felt like coming out with a bang, releasing that as a first single. But I'd say that I wanted to write a song that felt like the song I wanted to hear when I was kind of in a negative space, a song that would pick me up and put me on the right path mentally and sort of, in a way, positive affirmations to myself to feel invincible and unstoppable and, as wide and big as a horizon and just like feel all these possibilities that would be in front of me. And so I think as any human being, it's easy to sort of fall into a negative space. And I figure if it's good for me and it's healthy music for me then hopefully it is for other people as well. So
feels like a mantra. It's like, nothing will break me down. Sometimes you need to hear that, but it registers more when you hear it in a song.
I think when we hear it, we feel good. We feel like we're on a higher vibration. I think that's the beauty of music. And like you articulated it just now, music is a feeling.
There's a lot of symbolism in that video. And specifically, there is a scene where it looks like you are playing chess against another Yukimi. And of course, we can interpret that to mean many things, but I wanted to know from you, what does that scene specifically mean?
Well, the video was shot at a beach in Sweden called Hovshallar, and it's where Ingmar Bergman filmed The Seventh Seal.
Oh, wow.
So there is that scene where he is playing chess. Fredrik Egestam, the director, he was searching different locations and he found this location that was this beach that was beautiful. And then we were like, oh my gosh, let's find the rock where they filmed that specific scene.
Wow.
So it's a kind of, an
ode to that.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
But then I've kind of been playing with the symbolism of, for the album cover of that sort of feeling of having to carry yourself through life. And I think also just sort of playing with the different elements of that you can go mentally with yourself and, playing chess with yourself, carrying yourself and sort of putting yourself on the right track. So there was sort of a play of, on the album cover, we were like, okay, it could be the spirit holding the ego, or wait, it could be,
the through line is there. I think that's so well done. For sure.
Thank you.
So let's talk about stream of consciousness. We are obsessed with the song, and of course, we have to acknowledge the collaboration between yourself and Lianne Havas. Dream collab for Arim and myself. We love the song, and the arrangement is really interesting because it really mirrors the song's title. It feels like you and Lianne both take us inside both of your minds, and we're hearing your inner thoughts in real time.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about the backstory behind the song and that songwriting process.
Well, she came to Gothenburg for a week, and her presence really made me like focus and super sharp. And, she hadn't been writing like sort of in that way for a while. And I hadn't been that focused like for a long time. So we really like sort of had a good energy between us. And on that song in particular, I remember it was just like, there was a bass line. It was very minimal. And I was sort of in this head space where I was being very conceptual. So I was like, let's write about, I'm hearing like a story, kind of like that Phil Collins song, where he's like Paradise, whatever it's called, and and she was like, and she kind of went into the kitchen, and I was like, I started writing, I was trying to, and I was like, no, this is not working. It was too like intellectual, you know what I mean? It was too conceptual to the point where it was like, let me just scrap this and just take a moment and take a breath and see where I'm at right now emotionally and, with my hopes and my dreams. And she kind of came back into the room, and I was like, you know what? I I kind of threw that idea, and she's like, "I'm really glad you did that," because I wasn't gonna say anything.
She was gently
but-
being like,
Yeah.
"No, this is not
She's
working."
like, went into the kitchen, came back, and was like, "Yeah, I hear you." And I started writing, and she was like, "Okay, I see where you're going." And it was like I was writing for me, and just like you said, she was writing for her. And then by the end of it, I was singing for myself, and she was singing for herself. But it just really fit together because we were both being very vulnerable and open and honest. And even though it was just a few lines, but just kind of getting to know her personally, and like hearing what she sang really moved me. So the next day I was like, I don't want to, but this song is making me cry.
It
does.
I mean, it feels really intimate.
Yeah,
like,
it is intimate. 'Cause
yeah.
it was intimate for me. Like my verse felt very, sort of honest. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you do that. Other people do it, and suddenly you're kind of like in this space together where it's like, it's okay.
Even though it feels like both of the verses stand alone, they just complement each other so well. That's why I think it makes it so enjoyable to listen to. Both of you all just bring your own individuality, but together it's just so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
For
I'm
sure.
really proud of that song. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys are both able to work on it together in person
Right.
rather than I'll send you my verse and we'll put it together. So you guys really got to process the whole songwriting experience together.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think it would have come together the way it did if we hadn't been in the same space.
Right. Two songs we have to discuss are Elenam and Jackson featuring deuxsol. Those songs are about both of your sons and are deeply, deeply heartfelt. I wanted to know what that process was like writing those two songs.
Well, I guess when I was sort of in the space where I accepted the fact that, you know what, I'm excited, I'm going to write a solo album. And I kind of really wanted to not censor myself. I had to sing about what was in front of me and what was going on in my life. And my kids are just like my top priority. So
Of course.
I could not write a song for them. And I feel like there's so much, there's so many challenges that I'm feeling with being a parent. And nothing is like challenging me to the same extent, to be honest. So, but it just feels so meaningful. And on Elenam, my second born son his name is Eli, and I call him Elenam. And his birth was just a very special experience. And I guess I also had this feeling where I just felt like, it's just, it was everything at the same time. It was sad, it was happy, it was, I don't know. It's like just, there wasn't just this one heartfelt feeling. It was everything. It was really overwhelming. It was fear. It was, sadness. It was like just the vulnerability of life and at the same time, like overwhelming to feel so much love. And I was just all over the place. I mean, and it was such a big experience. So I guess I just felt like I could not write a song about that. And so I wrote a song, just kind of like a love song almost to my child. And there is a lot of love on this album, in different ways. Not so much romantic love, but so that one's for Ellie. And then my firstborn, Jackson, his father passed 2.5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so I really wanted to write the song for him. And I was so proud to have Pause from deuxsol on this record.
His verse was amazing.
It's so good.
It's
so
good.
beautiful. And it's like a testament to his whole career, having been an artist since he was 17 up until now. You don't write a verse like that's not some AI type of thing. Just throw it to. That's like so heartfelt and so
truly.
so poetic
Mm-hmm.
and beautiful, and he knew his father, and he really wanted to write this verse, and I couldn't think of anyone that I'd rather want on this song.
That makes it more special.
Yeah.
Felt very special, deeply personal, and yeah, I'm really proud of that song too.
Yes.
So.
No, we love that song. I mean, his verse is so layered, the symbolism, the metaphors, the wordplay. I mean, paired with your vocals, and then just we could get a sense of what you were sharing, but like having you sit with us here and tell us the backstory just hits a little bit deeper. I think it's a beautiful tribute.
Yes.
It's a beautiful
Thank you
tribute.
so much.
Wow.
And now your son has something to look back on and reflect on and you know, honor his father. It will always forever be such a meaningful song.
And he's not alone, you know. We all have somebody who we are keeping in our hearts, you know, who's not here. So
yeah.
This album is clearly a labor of love. You touch on so many subject matters. You showcase so many parts of yourself. How did it feel to finally release the album into the world?
I mean, honestly, it felt great. You know, I just feel like I'm so happy to be making music and to having this beautiful opportunity to share my music with people and to have people who want to come to my shows and hear them and, you know, who listen to the album. And I just think, like, if there's something that I really want to encourage is just for people to share what they do, you know, because it's a gift. It's a gift to be creative, and it's a gift to share it. And that's kind of the beauty of what it is. So I just like savor that, you know. I'm just happy to be here and happy to have the music out. So I'm, you know, and honestly, like the way I work is, you know, I've lived with this music now and I'm on to the next thing and I'm writing new music. So
that's good news for us.
Like you put it out in the world.
Put it out in the world. We'll be ready to receive.
Yeah, I mean, the album, the cycle of releasing music is that's its own thing.
Yeah.
The way my creativity works is I write music all the time. And, you know,
you feel like
most of it
creating.
doesn't come out, but like I need to do that for my soul.
Yeah. As fans of your music, we've loved your voice for a long time. We feel like it's so distinct and it's genre bending, it's soulful, it's all of these things. And we can't have you here and not talk about what were your own influences growing up. What inspired you as you were trying to figure out your voice?
So much different music, so many different styles, but I mean, I've gone through different phases in my life, and especially my teens. Like I definitely had different phases.
Yeah.
I'd say that the D'Angelo Voodoo album had a huge impact on me.
I can definitely hear that.
I remember hearing that album for the first time and being like, you know, when you feel almost like sick because it's so good, like you feel like you have a clump here, and it's like, and as someone who wanted to write music, and you know, you also feel extreme jealousy. I don't know if you talk to any artists who can like who's described this, like they feel
extreme
like
jealousy.
Oh, it's disgusting good, you know, it's too good. It's making me feel like I want to make music and like I suck at the same time. So that's that sort of like huge impact like that I felt in, you know, kind of late teens when that came out. But my mom inspired me with a lot of like, she's a California girl, Joni Mitchell, Fleetwood Mac. She also loved Earth, Wind and Fire.
Nice.
Anita Baker. I mean, this is what she was listening to at home.
Listen,
that just
she got
like
good taste.
She actually has really good taste.
Very
Kate
diverse.
Bush is a huge like influence. Prince. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So many different artists. There's so many amazing vocalists out there. I think I love anyone who kind of like also kind of does their thing. I was just the other day I was thinking and started just thinking about how much I've listened to Amadou and Mariam. Amadou and Mariam. You know that? Are you familiar with them?
No.
Asteraweke.
Okay.
I love Asteraweke.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
Aster.
I had an Ethiopian friend who used to live in our studio, and he had all these tapes that he'd gotten from his mom.
Oh, wow.
And there were a couple tapes. I've never found them like online on Spotify or, you know.
Probably
not. It's crazy. You'd be surprised what you can't find on streaming services for Yeah. And Aster's the legend.
Yeah.
She's a legend and like
she's big.
Singer,
She's big. Yes.
Like insane. Huge influence. But that was probably not in my teens. It was, I'd say, early 20s. Well, I'm a music nerd. I love music.
I love that. Even with every artist that you named, you can hear a bit of those influences in some of your music across your career. I love when an artist is an amalgamation of all of these influences and they find their own sound that works. And that's the beauty about the legacy of music and sharing music, because you don't know who you can inspire.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone's like tried to copy somebody perfectly.
Right.
It's really hard.
It is.
So it's like you're still always going to have your own voice. Like even if you try to, and sometimes, you know, some people you might be like, oh, kind of sounds like you're trying, but you still like, and then
still yourself.
You're still yourself. So I think when you kind of accept that, and I think I definitely had like an R&B period where I was like, oh, I wanted to be like Faith Evans and Brandy so bad.
Yeah.
But like nothing in the way we were producing our songs at this time like made it sound right. I was like, I don't know, it's a compressor maybe, or it's like the effects, and kept trying. And
do you think you'd ever do an R&B album?
I mean, I think there's elements of R&B on my
There's
album.
definitely
there is. You've got soul.
But I guess it depends on what you define as R&B. But in that sense, like that, I mean, why try to make an R&B album when you can just be yourself and just try to sing like music you like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd do it consciously like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely like go with the flow in the studio. So sometimes it's like, oh, it's a house track. Can you know, write a house track? Or, oh, this sounds like, you know, so wherever the music is taking me, it'll take me. But I'm not usually in my head where I'm thinking, I'm going to make a R&B track and like consciously.
You just kind of go with the flow.
I want to be spontaneous.
While we're here, we have to ask, you are our first Swedish musical guest. And so this has always been on Yodi and I's mind. From ABBA to Max Martin to Ludwig Göransson. Like, you guys pump out amazing musical talent.
Yeah, like, what's in the water over there? What y'all got going on over there?
What is going on over there in Sweden?
I don't know, honestly. But I feel like there is definitely like a lot of music in the culture historically as well. I mean, if you look at like old photos of Swedes in the 1800s, whatever, they all have like a guitar, you know, black and white photos, you know, buttoned up with a guitar.
Yep.
You know, there's a strong folk music culture. But then also I feel like Swedes are pretty good at English. So it's not like they've been dubbing their movies and you know, the American and British sort of big artists have been really big in Sweden as well.
Yeah.
So and I think that they have a really good sense of like copying that style and doing their version, Swedish version of it. I don't know. There's a big metal scene in Gothenburg. Like
really,
all these really big, huge metal bands. I've never heard of them, but I know they exist.
Oh, wow.
So you guys are covering every genre you can.
Yeah, there are a lot of Swedish artists that are like huge in Japan. I don't know who they are either. But
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
wow. Y'all got something going on.
Yeah.
Clearly.
The impact you all have in music is crazy.
Back to For You for a second. And we wanted to ask you, what do you hope fans take away from this project?
Good question. Well, I've really wanted to have in my songwriting, like with the lyrics and things, and also where I feel like I'm at right now in my life. You know, I think I just feel like I want to have a positive output and, you know, be creative and also really have a strong positive message in my music. I hope people can feel that. I feel like it's important to sort of express what you stand for. And, you know, when it comes to just really wishing that we had a more peaceful world, wishing that we could find that peace within ourselves, and sort of embracing all the different sort of ups and downs that come with being a human being that's alive and that knows it's going to die, and, you know, wants to make the best out of this time that it has here on this planet. It's so surreal to be alive. It's so beautiful. And it's so surreal to be a mother, but it's so normal. And it's just such a special experience. So I just really hope that people can sort of move into the music and hopefully find a space within themselves where they, you know, can feel something and feel good about it, and move through it, whatever it may be. And and also feel encouraged to be creative themselves and share, because that's why I wanted to make an album that's called For You, to be like proud, like, I'm creative, I made this, and this is for you, and everyone can do it, because we're all creative and we're all unique, and we all have that ability.
Yes.
Wow. I love that. I feel like everything you articulated is really showcasing the project across the board. Arim said that this album is very deeply heartfelt. And so you take us on this journey. You take us through themes of love, self-love, self-actualization, and familial love, the love between a mother and their child. And we're just so grateful for the gift, and we feel inspired listening to the music. So I feel like you've achieved your goal with these girls right here.
Oh,
okay.
Beautiful.
Yes, 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
Yes, 10 out of 10.
Of course, you have this tour now coming up, but what else is next for you, Yukimi?
After this North American tour, I have some European festivals, and I have a couple shows in Japan I'm really excited about.
Yes.
And I'll be writing more music, because that's just what I need to do. Like, I need to eat, I need to sleep, I need to write music. Basically that, I guess.
Yukimi, we just wanted to say thank you so much for making the time to join us today on this podcast. It's truly special. Again, like Yodi and I have mentioned multiple times, we've been huge fans of you for so many years. So this is really special.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. For our listeners, if they want to keep up with you and listen to your music, where can they find your music?
They can find my music on the streaming platforms. Hopefully they can find my vinyl. I think there's vinyl out now.
Again, thank you so much, Yukimi. And that wraps up today's episode. If you like what you heard, you can keep up with us on our socials at DEUXSOL. That's at deuxsol. You can also watch us on YouTube and Spotify, and you can listen to us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. If you can hear it, we'll be on it. And till next time, guys, peace.